Good morning, everyone. I'm going to read something from a book that I've been reading for the last couple weeks. It's a book think I don't understand why it's not getting more attention. There's been an absence of Native writers in our country for decades, and this is Native Voices. It's an anthology. It was edited by C. Marie Fuhrman and Dean Rader, and it includes some of the best American indigenous writers we have. Leslie Marmon Silko is in it, our current poet laureate Joy Harjo, Louise Erdrich and her sister Heid, Layli Longsoldier, the list goes on. But one of the things I really love about this book, besides the powerful poetry, is that each section after they share their poems, each writer has written an essay about the creative process. And as the introduction so eloquently states, Native American writers don't have that kind of resource of other Native American writers talking about the process. They've always been confined to reading about that from white or, other writers. So I thought it was a powerful idea to have this book put together, these thoughts from our Native writers about the process. And actually this poem that I'm going to read comes from the thoughts of a writer named Christos. And she cited this particular poem, and I think this poem is timely. It talks about what it means to be a minority in America in a way that really spoke to me. Not that I can relate, but it makes me understand. And, a lot of the focus, of course, has been on Black lives, but you could substitute anyone for this. The Japanese from the internment camps. I think about the Chinese that were blackballed after the railroads were finished. You can inject any race in this poem, but of course, we all know the Native Americans have suffered mightily for our history. This is called A Litany for Survival by Audre Lorde. For those of us who live at the shoreline, standing upon the constant edges of decision, crucial and alone. For those of us who cannot indulge the passing dreams of choice, who love in doorways coming and going, in the hours between dawns, looking inward and outward, at once before and after, seeking a now that can breed futures, like bread in our children's mouths, so their dreams will not reflect the death of ours. For those of us who were imprinted with fear, like a faint line in the center of our foreheads, learning to be afraid with our mother's milk, for by this weapon, this illusion of some safety to be found, the heavy-footed hope to silence us. For all of us, this instant and this triumph, we were never meant to survive. And when the sun rises, we are afraid it might not remain. And when the sun sets, we are afraid it might not rise in the morning. When our stomachs are full, we are afraid of indigestion. When our stomachs are empty, we are afraid we may never eat again. When we are loved, we are afraid love will vanish. When we are alone, we are afraid love will never return. And when we speak, we are afraid our words will not be heard nor welcomed. But when we are silent, we are still afraid. So it is better to speak, remembering we were never meant to survive. How about that? So Audre Lorde, from the collection Native Voices. Please buy a copy of this book. It's really good and important. Thanks. Have a great day.